Welcome to the Multiverse Podcast, Episode 1. I'm your host, Jimmy, alongside my co-host, Warren, and the man behind the curtain, our producer,
Literally.
Wes.
What's going on?
He is literally behind the curtain. He's going to disappear here in just a second, but you'll see him from time to time as we go through. So there he goes. He's gone.
But you'll never actually see him. We've never actually seen him. He's
quick story, super quick story.
Yeah.
Wes and me have been working together for over a decade on multiple projects. I trust this guy with my kids, and I have never seen him. And now that I say that, that's kind of no. I've never seen him in real life. So one of these days we'll get a face reveal. But Warren, I'm just smiling. That's it, man. But yeah, why am I smiling?
Because this is the start.
The restart?
The restart, the reboot. Yeah.
Phase 1?
This is phase 1. Yeah. Yeah. Phase 1 right here.
Should we tell the story real quick?
Yeah, we can tell a quick story about it. Yeah, totally.
How we got here. 5 years ago?
I think it was about 5 years ago. I think it was like 2019. Yeah.
5 years ago before COVID, pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. Yeah, that's crazy.
We
about that.
launched the multiverse. And it just didn't work out. Timing wasn't there. Yeah. Timing wasn't there. It didn't work out. And then it kind of sat on the shelf for 5 years, including this hoodie, which I have literally had in my closet for 5 years. And I had to break it out.
Right.
And we got together the other day. Me and Warren have done stuff together. We've walked red carpets together.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We've done multiple projects, and we started talking, and we got Wes and Zach. You'll meet Zach down the road as well, and Joe, the whole multiverse team. And we said, you know what? Timing's there. Let's go for it.
Timing, to be clear, timing for us, as in we were all too busy, really. It wasn't the time to start talking about everything, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel like now so much is about to go down. Like new DCU, right? Like we're getting to the end of the multiverse saga, like a lot of new stuff coming. Like I feel like now is a really great time.
This is the perfect kind of entry point.
Yeah.
Re-entry point. Not just the DC stuff, not just the Marvel stuff. Star Wars is about to pop. Whether that's good or bad, we don't know.
You never know.
But whenever you have a new trilogy
right
on the way,
it's huge. It's big, no matter what, right?
It is huge.
No matter
what.
It is
huge. So real quick, let me tell everybody, wherever you're watching this or listening to this could be on Spotify, Amazon. It could be anywhere you're listening to it, Apple, or you're watching it on YouTube. Make sure you guys are subscribed and get interactive with us. Wherever you can comment on whatever platform. A lot of our segments we build out as we build this show, which you guys are going to help us build this show. Look at that. Listen on your favorite podcast app. I love it. Absolutely love it. There may be some bugs as we work this out, episode 1. But the point is, we would love you guys to be part of this reboot of the multiverse journey. Yeah, whether it's on TikTok, anywhere, and get interactive, because there's going to be a lot of segments as we go through this that you're going to have control. You're going to be able to pit me and Warren. Yeah. I'm on the wrong side. Pit me and Warren against each other. We're going to be very interactive with you guys. So let's just start off.
All right.
Let's get the big stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Summarize everything SDCC and D23 in less than 1 minute. I'm kidding.
Oh gosh, I was like, I was not prepared for this.
What's your biggest takeaway from SDCC?
I mean, it's obviously Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU as Dr. Doom, right? I mean, and I've been saying this a lot in my videos. No matter how you feel about it, you are talking about it. Everybody is talking about it. I mean, like all the videos that are done about it are like breaking the internet, and it's just kind of like if you were to tell me when Iron Man 1 premiered or when the first Avengers movie came out, you'd be like, hey, you know what? A decade from now, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, he'll be dead, but he's going to return as Dr. Doom. I would have been like, there's no possible way that could happen. But enter the multiverse saga, and I think it was great. It definitely, I've heard that Marvel wants to focus just on what's up and coming, and the only reason they really revealed RDJ as Doom is because they wanted people to know an answer about the next Avengers film, which was supposed to be Kang Dynasty, right? So they just gave us that answer instead of, a full phase 6 reveal, which is what I think everybody else was expecting.
Right.
But this, I think, was bigger. I think it was bigger. I think it was a historic moment, right? I think that actually goes down in history for pop culture. Like, everyone's going to say 10 years from now, like, oh man, like, you remember when they revealed RDJ as Doom, right? And then he was in all these movies. It's crazy. So I think just, by far, that is just not only the biggest thing for SDCC, but just of history and pop culture. And then there were other things like Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We didn't get public footage, but I've seen the whole thing leaked already, and I've tried to put it up online, but it got copyrighted and taken down.
Where'd you try to put it up at?
On my channel.
They took it down?
Yeah. Not a strike, luckily, but they copyrighted it. So I've done leak trailer breakdowns, and now I'm just using stills, which I should have just done. But I tried to do actual footage and I wouldn't do it. But there's Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, Captain America. It actually looks really good. Like, the footage actually looks really good, and I was worried about it because, man, they've undergone some changes and rewrites to that. But I think it's awesome. I love Harrison Ford. In the new take for Sam Wilson's Captain looks good, but again, it's RDJ. Yeah, that was SDCC.
Okay, I agree. I think people are divided.
Oh, for sure.
On the new mask, same task, and I understand to a degree, but I also think that Marvel, Kevin Feige, Russo brothers, they found a path where if they're going to hand this man this bag, which they are, I mean, what have you heard? 70, 80 million or something? 80 million.
Yeah.
If they're going to hand this man that big of a bag, they are going to have their cake and eat it too. There is no way that these scripts, these plots do not have him come back at some point, whether it be him coming back to take out Dr. Doom as him or whatever plot you want to go with.
Yeah.
You are going to get your Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man fix alongside your Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.
I mean,
Dr. Doom. Not necessarily Tony Stark.
Right. No, you have to imagine that at some point in time he's face to face with himself as Doom and as
100%.
Iron Man, like we've seen him in the MCU. That's the cool thing about the multiverse is, like, some universes, your variant could have just one thing different about him. Like, he could just be an inch taller or inch shorter. Like, you know what I mean? Or it's just like, something so minuscule to where they can almost be the exact same character and have gone down the exact same trajectory in life. Right. So you could get an Iron Man variant that was mentoring Peter Parker and had all that stuff like that. Right. But man, it's going to be cool to see Peter Parker see RDJ under that Doom mask, man.
I don't think he's going to see him. I think he's going to see him before the Doom mask is on, or I think he's going to see him without the mask. I think they're going to make it where Peter's like, Tony. I feel like you would be missing a beat there or missing a payoff. I know what you're saying. Dr. Doom, and he's wreaking havoc, and then he takes off the mask.
The mask is off, and he's like,
I was thinking
Mr.
more
Stark?
where he comes back, and then Peter's like, oh, it's a variant. I think he's going to play mind games, dude. I don't think this is going to be a cut and dry, the mask is on at the very beginning, and then it's on 99% of the time like the comics. I don't. That's a waste of who they brought back.
I was going to say that. Yeah. A lot of people are like, well, this will work only if he keeps his mask on the entire time like the comics. I was like, no. Like,
no way.
You have to have the people see him. That's what's going to make it such a psychological battle for the Avengers. It's like, it's Tony. And they have to be like, no, it's not Tony, right? Like, someone's going to put their foot down and be like, listen to me. It's not Tony. Like, it's not the Tony you knew. Like, this is an evil variant, right? The Tony you knew is gone. This is different. But it's going to be hard for them. And that's why I agree with you. But also at the same time,
he's a manipulator.
That's what they can introduce him. They can introduce him without Peter Parker seeing him. Like, I think they can introduce him like with Reed or something like that, right?
Okay.
And then he puts the mask on, and maybe they don't know it's him, right? Maybe they're like, oh, we don't know that Doom is Tony. And then
they're not going to know. They're in another timeline. They're in a different.
Well, even if you're stuck in the same timeline, and you could be like, you could have Reed Richards possibly working with Tony to try and fix the multiverse, because well, this is really complicated because I would say Victor Von Doom himself is incredibly smart.
Mhm.
I think he's playing Tony personally, but Tony is obviously a genius as well. So the two of them could be working together, and at the same time, there could be this Doom figure wreaking havoc, and Reed might not even know it's Doom, right? He might know it's Tony. He might not know that they're the same people, right? And that's where some big mind games could come into play, because he could act like without the mask, like he is a good guy, but then with the mask on, with the hood on, everything, like he's a bad guy. But secretly, he knows everything about the heroes, so he knows how to defeat them.
What if they take the what if storyline where
They swap brains.
they face swap?
Yeah.
They do the Nicolas Cage whatever actual face off where
Yeah.
it's what is it, Tony?
They just swap
and,
brains,
and
basically.
Reed, yeah. I mean, what if they do that? And then the payoff there is Tony somehow gets out of it at the end, goes back and puts on the Iron Man suit, and then whoever the actual Doom body was, I don't know if we'll know that or not.
Right? Yeah. I mean, Victor.
Well, that's another a key thing the Russo brothers said. We're introducing to you Victor Von Doom.
Yeah. They
and I know they could lie.
They also told us Avengers,
they're never coming back.
They also said Avengers, that they also said it wasn't called Avengers Endgame, and it was.
True.
Right? So,
so
at this point,
you're
like you can't trust Marvel in a good way.
You're still on the notion that it could be Tony Stark?
No, I think it is Tony Stark. So I don't think it's Doom at all. I don't think it should be.
Does Victor Von Doom play a role anywhere?
No, I don't think he should. I don't think it should, because I think if you reboot after the Multiverse saga, then you have your Victor Von Doom, because it's such a giant backstory.
Yeah,
he has so many stories. And he's
so you're saying they do the Temu version of Doom for the rest of the Multiverse saga, then we get the authentic Latveria Doom build up.
That's what I think. That's what I think. That's
a lot of.
That's how a
lot of people are pissed because they got the first part of that, and they're like, "We're getting the Always Save brand Doom."
Right.
But you're taking it a step further and saying that's because they're gonna reboot him in a sense, and we're gonna get the actual Victor Von Doom.
Give you Victor with the whole backstory, with Latveria, with sorcery, with his mother, Mephisto, I can get behind everything. Like,
I like that.
And that's your Cillian Murphy opportunity there, or Cillian. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I feel like Cillian? I pronounce it either way. Everyone's like, you pronounced it wrong.
In the future, this is where Wes would come in and correct us, just so you guys know if we're butchering something. He'll probably
Cillian.
There you go.
It is Cillian, right? It is Cillian. That's what I thought.
Yep.
I say Cillian, and people are like, it's Cillian. I'm like, well, I say Cillian, and people say it's Cillian. But I believe I saw him one time himself say Cillian. So everyone wants him as Doom, right? And I was a fan of it. And there was a meme that I even posted to my Instagram to where it was like, Kevin Feige momentarily forgets the person's name from Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy, and he tells his assistant, let's get the guy from Oppenheimer to play Dr. Doom. And his assistant goes, okay. And he gets Robert Downey Jr. to do it. And that's how they ended up with it instead.
I love it.
But
I love it.
No, I do. I think if they do that soft reboot that I've heard about for a long time now, I think after that, you just get a Victor Von Doom. And then I think it's even cooler because moving forward from there, he's like a good guy, but everybody who's remaining is kind of weary of him because they're like, well, we just kind of had to fight a Doom to save literally the multiverse. So we're a little skittish about you.
I like it.
Now. Be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. All right, let's talk. Well, real quick, we're going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously. I'm going to take you on a there you go. I'm going to take you on a wild, quick thought process of Galactus in Fantastic Four. And I want you to tell me if I'm completely off my hinges or if you like where I'm going.
Okay.
I have said from day one, Galactus is too big of an entity, too big of a threat to be a one and done.
Oh, sure.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So we already know Galactus is in Fantastic Four. We're not sure. I'm assuming he's going to play the major role. Maybe not. Maybe he's just teased for future Secret War stuff. But let's say he's
play a big role.
Okay, he's the villain.
Yeah.
If you kill him in this movie, how do you get past that being you just wasted one of the biggest threats out there? And I have a theory. Hold on.
Okay.
There's a comic run And this all goes into Armor Wars plays a big part in this.
Okay.
So if we do end up getting Armor Wars, we get the movie that we're promised. It goes in one of these spots we're going to talk about later on for Phase 6. And my theory is true, and Ultron comes back. It's not just my theory. There's leaks everywhere about it. And a lot of this we could be talking about, guys. I feel like I'm like that hobbyist insider. And then you have Warren, who's an actual insider. So if he gets these grins on his face when I'm talking, you guys need to read that and then take that for what you can. See exactly what he's doing right now. Okay. Let's say Ultron.
I already know like everything. So go for it.
Okay. Ultron's the main antagonist of Armor Wars.
Oh, of Armor Wars. Gotcha.
Armor Wars.
Yeah.
So they kill Ultron, but they never kill Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
They kill Galactus, but they never kill Galactus. There is a comic run where Silver Surfer takes pieces from both of them and creates an entity between the two of them. I know it's out there. I know it's wild, but would that be cool to see something like that in Secret Wars? Because it's not just going to be Doom. It's going to be Doom weaponizing people. That's what he does. He tricks people, and I don't know. I think that would be really cool. I really think Ultron's coming back.
I would be shocked if he didn't come back, because that
As
honestly was a mistake.
Spader. Yeah.
Oh, really? So Spader voicing him. Yeah, it was a terrible mistake just with that one and done thing. Like
I loved him.
They might not have had the full idea for it at first, but what they did with Loki was simply, and pun intended, glorious. Like it was, and I have heard, well, I think it's the same theory that we'll talk about in a bit, but some cool theories about how this could end with Loki. But yeah, Ultron's never dead, right? So it's like his mind is the internet, right? It's like, how do you kill the internet, right? So I'd be shocked if he doesn't come back. I will say I would be very shocked if I saw an infused Galactus Ultron variant somehow.
It's happened.
It has. And the Russo brothers would be the people to do it if anybody were to do it, I would say. Here's the thing about the Fantastic Four. It takes place in another universe. So you could kill that Galactus and you could have another Galactus.
No.
In the comics, Galactus is not a single multiverse entity. He's not.
I thought he was whatever Wanda is.
He's not a Nexus being, no.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
And so a Nexus being...
America Chavez, Wanda, is there any others confirmed?
I don't think Chavez is a Nexus being. I think there's a difference between a Nexus being and beings who are just one.
Okay.
Like a Nexus being is somebody who has the power to change the reality of their universe, right? But there are variants of Wanda, as we saw, right? There are no variants of America Chavez. She's just one entity in the universe.
So it's two different things.
Right. So there are two different things, but so Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus, a really good source, originally heard something where he thought it meant that Galactus was going to be one of those entities, but then he said that he kind of misinterpreted it, and that Galactus, essentially, when we do see Galactus, it won't be from, not in the Fantastic Four, but in like Secret Wars or something like that. He won't be from our main universe.
I feel like you're sweating. I feel like you're tiptoeing around. I feel like you're really, really working hard right now
to not give everything away. I mean, I don't really care.
No,
but I don't want to spoil everything for everybody is the thing. So, but to your point, you could kill Galactus in a different universe, because then it's just kind of like, okay, well, there's an infinite amount of Galactuses out there.
It's not that. It's the act of killing Galactus. You take away
how powerful he is.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I go right back to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I'm going to say right now, it gets a lot of hate. And I went and rewatched it the other day. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. I don't know why
it was a fun movie. Yeah. But you have the Illuminati, who are obviously depowered. And,
for sure.
I mean, I don't want Galactus to get that vibe. I don't want Galactus to get that moniker of, oh, it's a variant of Galactus, and they took him out. It wasn't that big of a deal, and he's a one and done, because Galactus is not a one and done in any universe.
No. Well, and I think that opens it up, actually. So it's kind of the same thing as Doom. Like, I think if you defeated a Galactus in a different universe, it still leaves it open for a Galactus in the sacred timeline, and that Galactus can be the overpowered one that like can't really be defeated. It's kind of a, what do they call it? Like a MacGuffin, right?
I've heard that term before.
Well, it's kind of like,
this would be where a producer comes in and gives us the definition of a MacGuffin. I don't know.
He's typing. He's looking.
He's typing.
But
he's Googling MacGuffin, right? I've heard that. I've heard that before.
Well, basically, I don't want to say it's like an excuse, and I'm speaking in terms of like the multiverse saga here. I don't want to say it's like an excuse to kind of do whatever you want, but it kind of is, because you kind of can do whatever you want.
I know.
I think that's why a lot of people don't. Well, exactly, right, and that's why there's like a fine line of what you do. So I personally think RDJ coming back as Doom is brilliant, because it's a great example of what the multiverse can actually be. Like, yes, you know what? There are evil variants of your favorite characters. And again, I am convinced in my mind that it's Tony, not Victor. So, because I think it should be Tony for that exact reason. Like, hey, this person that you loved and everybody, like, who saved literally half of his universe, really his universe, because Thanos would have wiped everything out, right? So he saved everyone. He's also evil in another universe, right? It's like, it's a cool concept.
It is.
So,
and I will dive into it in future episodes, I'm sure. And we could sit here and talk about it all day, but let's move on. Let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Just out of the gate, whatever you want to talk about, whatever your thoughts are. We're not going to do a review on it. I mean, we're
right. I will say this.
That.
I haven't said this anywhere yet, because last night I watched it for the 5th time, and man, it's just a fun movie, because you can't deny that there is agenda pushing in movies nowadays, right? And there is, right? Whether you like it or you don't like it, I don't think you can deny it, that a lot of the times there is that stuff. But to me, for Deadpool and Wolverine, it was just a movie that truly did take me out. Like, I was having like a stressful day, and I was like, oh, it's over. I was like, I just want to like relax, have some fun. And I was like, I'm going to go watch freaking Deadpool again.
Right.
So I went with a friend, because she had never saw it. And it was such a good time. And I was like, it did exactly what I wanted it to. I laughed. I was like giddy the entire time, even though I know everything that's that come from it, right? But I'm like still seeing all the cameos are super cool. Like, everything, I was like, I just truly loved it. I loved that it made me laugh, and it was entertaining as hell. And to me, that's why I really like these movies. Yes, you can have deep meaning in them, but to me, I was just like, you know what? This is like almost everything I want from a movie. And I even sat there in the theater. I was like, this might be my favorite Marvel movie, which is a big statement. And I haven't 100% decided yet, but it might be.
Okay. All right. It's easy to say that. And it's really easy to give that knee-jerk reaction when you watch it, because of just everything. Did you see you put up there?
I saw it. Yes.
I love it.
I mean, you know, it's also incredibly nostalgic for me, because like, I have pictures of me that you can see on my Instagram. I'm like 5 years old dressed as Wolverine.
I mean,
like,
the guys are going to cut that clip, and it's going to end up
good,
out there.
Good.
Deadpool
Put it
Wolverine,
out there.
Favorite
let's
MC movie
do it. You know what? Let's do it. But I also feel like Endgame and Infinity War, they're almost like in a different category, because they're like the culmination of everything, right? So it's almost not like it's like a standalone movie. Like, they are.
You're cheating.
Oh no, I'm still like, again, 5 times I've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, and the 5th time yesterday, I was still like, it's just as good as the first time I freaking saw it. It's not as surprising anymore, but it's just as good. No, I'm all right with that. If I go down saying Deadpool and Wolverine's my favorite Marvel movie, I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. I think Ryan Reynolds was correct. He said they built it to be its own movie.
Right.
They didn't build it to stepstone or do anything else. I think it was the perfect send-off. Well, partial send-off. It was the perfect closing of an era when it comes to Fox and the main Fox characters. And for the most part, you know what I mean?
It was a tribute.
It was a tribute to him, especially with the spoiler alert. I'm sure everybody's seen it, the end credits. I mean, I got emotional. Watching the montage.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I grew up on that stuff.
Right.
I mean, it really hit me. as for the Deadpool movie, Hugh Jackman, did he miss a beat ever anywhere in any of it? No, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. He's going to bring what he brings to the table with who he is as Deadpool.
Well, Zach, hold on. Or Wes, sorry. How old is Hugh Jackman? I want to know that because, like you said, he doesn't miss.
55. I'm going to say 55. I'm going to say 55. We'll get a little red lower third pop. Nope.
No, we're gonna get him. Wes
he is
himself.
55 years old.
Boom.
He is 55. Gosh, dude.
And he's doing it until he's 90.
Until he's 90.
Until he's 90. I love the humor. Obviously, I think they knocked it out of the park. People were kind of knocking Cassandra Nova. I thought she did really well. Yeah. I personally thought she played the role that she was supposed to play really well. I'm kind of upset that we haven't gotten more of Cassandra Nova.
I think that was probably my biggest, not like negative, but like, because I don't rate it a 10 out of 10. I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means. But we could have gotten a lot more of her, I feel, right?
I agree too.
Yeah,
it wasn't a movie that was set up to have this major big bad Thanos villain. That's not what it was about.
It was
a buddy cop movie. It was a journey.
Comedy. Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, but for when she was on there, I thought she shined. I thought she played that just psycho version of Professor X.
Exactly. Because dude, like the fingers and the face and everything, I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, every time I've watched it again last night, I'm like, oh, it's still weird to watch. Like,
nice pool,
really good.
Nice pool, knocked it out of the park. Obviously, everybody loves
sorry. He's the Canadian accent.
Top 3 part of the movie, top 3 moment is when he says, "I can softly
tap the fourth
wall and then the proposal." I mean, that was peak.
Is that what you think I do?
That was peak, man. That was peak. And then you knew as soon as Prime Deadpool saw those dual deagles, or whatever they were, that he was going to get them.
Oh yeah.
So it was just.
It's like if something were to happen to you, what would happen to me?
Yeah, I love the movie. I could probably. No, actually, no. We're actually probably going to talk about this later on. I don't know if it's going to be in the podcast or something else we do. I don't think I squeezed it into my top 5.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
It's really hard.
There's great top movies out there. Yeah, and like, I would say my top 5 always changes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna put you on the spot really quick. Hit or miss. Blade.
The original ones, or
no, in the movie, in Deadpool and Wolverine, hit or miss.
Oh, hit, crazy. There's only ever gonna be one Blade.
You don't think he was just a little too old, and it kind
of? No, I thought it was awesome. No, I thought it was
awesome. All right, Elektra.
In the middle. Interesting, they chose her.
Little boring.
Maybe no. It like when I saw her, I was like, oh snap! I almost forgot about everything I had heard. I was so captivated with the movie. No, when she came, I had genuine excitement. But again, like even when I heard the rumors, I was just kind of like, that's cool. Why her? Like, why not Ben Affleck's Daredevil? And the joke she made, they made hilarious because, they were married and now they're divorced. It's like, it's all fun. Like, oh, okay. No, I don't think it was a miss. I don't think it was as big of a hit as the others.
Yeah. Johnny Storm.
Oh, insanely huge hit. Especially when he's going to say it, Avengers Flame On.
I thought the bigger twist was the fact that he said all those nasty things. He actually said it. And then he said in real life, he's like, I don't ever get to say stuff like that. The fact that I got to say stuff like that. X-23.
Oh, awesome. Just huge hit. Just incredible.
And Gambit.
Oh, that is just the greatest thing that, oh man.
Enough to get him a standalone or get him in the mix for what's moving forward.
Totally enough for both. I would not be shocked if we got a standalone. He said on Jimmy Fallon or Conan. I don't remember who he was just on. Fallon, I think. He said on Fallon, he would. I believe his actual quote was he would kill kittens to get Yeah, to get.
Wes, how old is
stay
Channing
alive.
Tatum? How old is Channing Tatum? Because here's my question:
44 years old.
he's 44, so they could definitely get another 10 years out of him. So
For
he could
sure.
actually be part of that soft reboot.
I would love for him to be a part of that. I would, and there's a rumor recently from an insider, and insiders are typically hit and miss as it is, right? So always take it with a grain of salt. But there's a rumor that Hugh and Ryan are sticking around as well after the soft reboot as Deadpool and Wolverine, which, given the success of the movie, get them the money, right? Till you're 90.
Till you're 90, and he literally means it. It's gonna pay off. He's gonna live until he's 90, and he's gonna make a cameo
He
in a
will.
Marvel movie.
He will.
I fully believe it. Okay, let's switch gears and let's talk about Star Wars. Now, I don't know. I know you pretty well, but I don't know what level of fandom you're at with Star Wars. Me personally, I mean, I've told the story before. I'm gonna expose my age here. My first memory of going to the movie theater, and it had me hooked ever since. The movie theater cinema is like a second home to me. Was 5 years old, and my dad took me to watch Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
And I remember it vividly to this day, and I've been just hooked ever since.
That's awesome.
So I am the fan that it doesn't matter what Star Wars you're going to throw at me. I'm going to digest it. I'm going to bring it in, whether it's good or bad. I'm going to have my opinions, but never in any situation would I never want there not to be more Star Wars.
Oh, for sure.
So I'll let you start. I mean, you can kind of talk about where we're at, what's coming up with the new trilogy. You're just what you know, what's your thoughts? Are you excited? Are you look at his face. I don't even need. Maybe you don't get to talk about Star Wars, Warren.
I choose not to talk about Star Wars. I will right now. A lot of people, when I stream live or something, are like, hey, you're going to do Star Wars? I'm like, no.
That community is brutal.
They are. And I understand passion, right? I understand passion, and I get it. And you know what? I've had a lot of problems with a lot of stuff in Star Wars, but I'm also the type of guy, I'm like you. I really love this stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I'm in it. This is why, I do what I do while and a lot of people don't know this. I used to be roommates with a Stupendous Wave, who was one of the biggest Star Wars channels out there. I won't say his name because I don't think people know his real name, and I don't think people have seen his face, so I don't want to reveal that. But I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. There's Darth Vader there. I have some lightsabers over here. You can't see, but man, I love Star Wars, but I am worried about Kathleen Kennedy. I'm worried about some decisions that might be made. And the last trilogy we got, I didn't think it was as bad as everybody thought it was. And like the Rise of Skywalker, I really didn't think was as bad as everybody thought it was. But I do have my nitpicks. I am just worried about the directors that they are choosing and the writers that they are choosing. Because going back to that thing, I feel like they are trying to push some type of agenda. And I did a whole video on this. So it's like, I don't, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, I don't care that she's a woman. I don't care all this stuff. I only care if you know Star Wars and if you're the best person for the job, right? That's all I care about. And I just don't feel like they're hiring those people. And at the same time, I'm like, why aren't we just letting Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni do all this? Like, it's kind of just... let Filoni cook. Exactly. It's just kind of why I'm just like, I feel like I don't know, like, why don't they have like most of the say in everything?
So you're saying hiring an actor that thinks Anakin blew up the Death Star to play
oh my gosh,
Jedi.
don't even get me started on the Acolyte and that whole situation. Yeah. And I don't like hold that against him. I actually hold it against like Disney.
No, it's not against him.
Yeah, he's an actor. He's doing his job, right? Has he not seen? And so this is the point I actually brought up about a director. for anything, for Marvel, for Star Wars, for DC. Do you know all the source material? Have you watched every movie? Have you watched every show? Because I think you should have in order to direct something.
I think you should have to go through rigorous
There
tests.
should be training. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is, and I said this in the same video, like Star Wars is arguably the biggest franchise in the world, movie wise. So why are you what are the qualifications of the people that you're hiring?
Yeah, you have to go study a test to get a driver's license to operate a car.
Right.
You should have to study tests to be able to have any creative influence over this IP.
Exactly. And so that's that's the biggest thing I fear for the future of Star Wars. Am I excited about it? Yeah, because I don't write things off because anything can come back, right? It seems like Marvel really has locked down whatever they're trying to do to make their big comeback. And I'm the guy who never thought like it was really that bad. I never thought Marvel was dead. Well, right, exactly. But I never thought Marvel was dead. No, it wasn't as good as Avengers Endgame and Infinity War times. But and there was some bad stuff, but I didn't think it was dead. But Deadpool Wolverine's perfect example. It only takes one movie to revive faith in people.
Yeah.
And then one big reveal to revive faith in people.
I agree.
RDJ.
Sam Witter live action Star Killer.
Star Killer. Oh.
I can already see Wes is going to totally abuse these producing powers behind the scenes.
Good.
Absolutely love it.
Good.
Okay. For me, I think there's so much potential.
Yes.
I know the knee-jerk reaction is to say, Ray, why would we do that? Why would we literally said we were done with the Skywalker saga. And now you're bringing back the lady that has taken the Skywalker name and you're going to have her hypothetically do the same thing for the fourth time. Right. Same plot, same build up, so on and so forth. I like Ray.
I do
too.
too.
The actress that plays Ray.
I
think it was not anything to do with her. I thought she played the role that was given her to the absolute best she could. I have no problem with Ray.
Writing.
It literally is going to come down to the creative influence, the writers and the decision makers on whether or not this new trilogy hits home. And I'm with you on the thought process of why are you making it so hard when like John and Filoni and they're winning with what they're working on with Ahsoka and Mandalorian and things like that. Why do you not just let them take the reins?
Yeah.
So here's why I'm optimistic. They all work under the Disney umbrella. Okay. I feel like the mindset, at least with Marvel, shifted because let's be real. During that lull, during that downtime that Deadpool said we were in,
right,
it was agenda driven. Now we're not here to talk about agendas, and that's not what we're gonna be about. But it was
no, and you can't. It's like I said, you can't deny that.
Yeah, so they seem to understand that to a degree, and I'm not saying there's not going to be splashes of agenda that aren't put. It all depends on who's at the helm. But
and I sorry to cut you off, but I don't always think agenda pushing is bad. It's just how you do it. It shouldn't be about agenda pushing, right? That shouldn't be the goal. You can have it in there, but the goal should always be the story.
I was about to say, not when it influences and drives the story.
Exactly. It can't do that, right?
You have to have it did that in Acolyte.
Of course it did that in Acolyte. The director straight up before it came out was talking all about it.
So I'm hopeful that they see what course correct that Marvel has done. I mean, let's look. I mean, there was a time, there's no way Marvel would drop this rated R MCU Disney movie. I mean, it's all under the Disney moniker, right. Think that it's gonna or push it like they did. Come on. There's in what world are you betting over under how many jokes that the suits would have let in Deadpool? Dude, I heard joke after joke after joke, and I'm like, holy crap. They said, you know what? We get it. This is funny. Even though you are shitting on us, it's funny.
Well, Kevin Feige said it was an honor to be made fun of.
It's comedy, and they get that. So I'm hoping. And I know they talk. I know they have dinners and stuff. All the Kathleen and Kevin. And I know Kevin wants to do a Star Wars movie.
Well, he's supposed to. But here's the, like, I am optimistic. I am. And I'm with you. And I love Star Wars. And I want it to be successful. And I want these movies to be awesome. And I've said this before. the lore in Star Wars is probably my favorite out of
Mhm.
anything. There's such crazy, awesome lore, and you know what? Everything connects. Comics, everything ties in. But here's my only concern. You say that they hear what's going on, and yes, hopefully Disney overall.
No, I
is
said they
like,
see what's going on.
they see, yeah,
They see Deadpool and Wolverine crossing 1 billion,
right,
being a
right.
very edgy, not agenda driven, even made fun of the woke mob and
Yeah.
agenda driven stuff.
It
So
made
they
fun
see
of
that.
everything, and that's why it worked.
Yeah.
Nothing was safe except for drug use. They couldn't do that, and they made the joke about it. But here's the only thing. Kathleen Kennedy saw that Star Wars episode and then doubled down with the Acolyte.
Did she have a choice?
Oh, she always has a choice. Come on.
Does she?
She's in charge of
Yeah.
Lucasfilm. Maybe Disney forced her to put it out, maybe, but Disney saw it too, right? So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how long it was in the making, if it was too far to not come out with. I have no idea. But in my mind, the entire time I was just going, so she doubled down on the South Park thing. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
I'm gonna be hopefully optimistic. Because
dude,
because I want to be. Look. New
Please
trilogy. It's probably going to be the same rehashed, rewatched plot that we got. Hopefully, they do it in a way that's fun. The new Jedi Order movie, or not the new Jedi Order. That's what the one that's going back to the High
Republic?
Way back.
Right.
Yeah, High Republic, way back.
Well, that's what Acolyte was.
No, we're talking 25,000 years back.
The Old Republic.
Old Republic. That's what we're getting. We're getting a movie.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we're getting. I'm pretty sure we're getting that, and rumors are it's gonna tie into the storyline of the new saga somehow.
Oh, I don't know.
3 movies: Mandalorian and Grogu, which I think is going to be another buddy cop.
Yeah, hopefully,
just fun ride.
I hope so.
The saga, or the beginning of the saga, and then some type of Old Republic movie. If you go Google right now, there's 3, and it's they talk about no.
Wes, where you at?
Wes, help us out.
Yeah, I'm trying. I thought Dan and David were supposed to do the Old Republic, but then that got canned. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, I think one might have got canceled and Kevin Feige was supposed to do a movie as well. Like, it was confirmed he was supposed to do a film. But
3 new Star Wars movies announced: James Mangold, Dave Filoni, and Charmin Obaid-Chinoy.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. What are the premise of those? I thought those were the Skywalker ones.
Those were. No,
they are, right? Yeah.
For, yeah.
So I don't know if they can those. And then what's her face was supposed to get one? Director of Wonder Woman. I don't remember her name. I can't recall off the top of my head right now.
Which Wonder Woman did she direct? Both of them?
Yeah.
I know I saw it somewhere. We'll have to circle back. I saw something. I was like, that would be awesome. It was going back to the very
Patty Jenkins. That's her name. Sorry, just remembered it.
It was going back to the very beginning of the Jedi. The very beginning.
Cool. And you know what? I would like to think that when they sit in a room and if they go over a story, and hopefully you have Iger, Feige, John, and Dave there, and they hopefully if they heard it, they would go, "This is the same thing. We can't do this." And hopefully we don't get the same thing.
They spin a wheel or they throw darts at a dartboard and they laugh and say, "How many toys can we make off of this?"
Yeah, that's a big thing. No, but there are people who care. There are people who care there.
I agree.
Like John and Dave. And I think they look at what has happened in the past, how it's been received from fans, and they go, we need to switch it up a little bit. What can we do a little bit different? How can we revitalize this? How can we get our Deadpool and Wolverine of Star Wars?
You say that, but people that are up there looking down, I'm going to give you an example. Jennifer Lopez. I think caught in the tragedy of not operating in reality over the last 6 months on what she went through and kind of got canceled and the whole what I used to order at the bodega type stuff. I think that is being in this circle of yes people and being a superstar and you really don't operate in normal reality like the rest of us. And I strongly feel that those people up there, some of them, I don't think Kevin Feige, I think Kevin Feige definitely has figured out how to have a beat and a bead on the pulse. But I think a lot of those decision makers at the very, very top where the money is, they don't operate in reality. They operate with numbers, and they operate whether or not it was success or how much did the IP sell? What did we license this year? How many billions of dollars did we license with Star Wars? How much did we make off the Acolyte, off of everything, off of streams, toys, merch, you name it? And I think they literally go off that. I don't think they look at Star Wars boards. I don't think they look at Reddit. I don't think they do anything like that. I think a lot of them are completely fake and have no clue what the pulse is of what a Star Wars fan truly wants. A lot of
Hollywood is like that, because I've been in it for a bit now, and I pulled myself out a little bit because I didn't like the people I was meeting. I didn't like the people who were trying to make it as well. And I've met, and I will specify, I've hung out with at this point, many famous people, and they don't live in reality. Right.
Exactly.
The big ones. And then even the ones who are still like, they've been in some stuff, but they're still trying to make it, like, it's still a different reality for them too. Right. And I know so many people who do shorts, and then like, homemade stuff and indie stuff. And they just do all this stuff to be able to put it on a resume. And even those little things are so controlled. So, what you're saying, there's a lot of truth to it. But at the same time, when you're creating things, like, that's when I would like to think the people who care would, like Dave and John, like when they would step in and they would say, hey, we've done this before, people didn't like it. Or like, hey, this kind of sounds similar to like the Acolyte, they don't like this. Like, we have to switch it up a little bit. Like, I would just hope that that's how something would happen there. And
do you think they had that creative control? Do you think Dave and John pre-screened the Acolyte?
No, and that's a problem. Is I don't think they were involved.
I thought Filoni was supposed to be like have his thumb on anything canon wise in the Star Wars universe moving forward.
I didn't like any, though. I liked the lightsaber battles for the Acolyte, and that's about it.
Oh, the action sequences were amazing.
Action sequences were great. They really were. Such wasted potential with the entire cast, really. I don't have anything against anybody in the show. I did not like the story.
Yeah.
I didn't like the execution of their ideas, what they thought for it. Nothing against anybody personally, except for, the people who directed it. Anyways, yes, Wes.
All right.
Okay. Filoni became the he became the chief creative officer in 2023. The Acolyte was greenlit in 2022. So it could be.
Okay. So it got
before him.
But I still feel like if you are CCO, it didn't come out in 2023.
No, but here's the other thing: is the previous CEO of Disney was pushing the Disney Plus TV shows. Bob Iger joined back in 2022
and scaled everything back.
Exactly.
That was Bob Chapek.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to give you two options for Batman in the new DCU.
No. Batman is quite possibly my favorite character of all time.
Well, then you're going to take this really seriously.
I am.
Okay. You either get Glenn Powell or you get Hayden Christensen. Glenn Powell is heavily rumored to have already inked a contract to be the new Batman. And Hayden Christensen is a fan casting that would be pretty wild.
So I've met Glenn Powell, and I will say he's a nice dude. At least surface level, right?
I just watched Twister last night.
Yep. Great.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yeah. Top Gun, fantastic.
He was in Batman. He was in one of the Batmans.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was. He got his head Bane smashed his head into a keyboard.
Really? He was. Yeah, he was the on the stock market, on the stock floor. Yeah. That would be cool. I have to separate my love for Hayden Christensen for Darth Vader, Anakin, and say Glenn Powell, because he's young. Because Hayden Christensen's He's getting up there now, right? How old is he?
Yeah, he's got to be in his 40s. I don't know.
Yeah. Glenn
We'll
Powell.
find out. We'll find out here in a second.
Glenn Powell's a younger guy, but I think as far as stature is concerned, Glenn Powell is like he's pretty jacked for the most part, and most of the stuff that you see him in, and like he can get even better shape for Batman.
I think he has the range, and the reason I say that, he was in a movie not too long ago. I can't remember the name of it, but he played where he had to fake being a killer.
Oh yeah,
for the police.
Right, yeah.
And so he had to play basically two different personalities, and he knocked it out of the park. It was a really enjoyable movie, and it showed me that after I went with Ashley and watched whatever that Sydney Sweeney movie was, I don't want.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I went and watched this, and I was like, okay, this guy has range. This guy can actually.
Well, from it's a rom-com. The first one,
yeah,
totally.
So I'm on board.
Yeah,
I know there's others out there. I know there's other fan castings out there, but if it ends up being true, Jensen Ackles or bust. So apparently Wes has a different opinion of who it should be. Who I don't know Jensen Ackles.
The Boys.
Soldier Boy from The Boys.
The Boys.
Oh
He
yeah.
previously voice acted Batman as well in the animated stuff. So
I gotta look up a picture. I know who he is. I even know his character.
I mean, he could pull it off. Who's the other one that's in the front running of it? It's the big Jack guy, like the huge.
I think I would prefer Glenn Powell over Jensen Ackles. Sorry, Wes. I don't know who the huge guy is. What are you talking about?
He just had a Netflix series. No, God, no. Are we going to see The Rock in an MCU movie?
Well, there was a rumor for a while he's going to be Apocalypse, but I think that was fake.
No. I love The Rock, and I don't want him anywhere near the MCU.
He could have probably been a Deadpool Wolverine in some way, shape, or form to make fun of it. But I like Glenn Powell.
Yeah,
I like
all
that.
Right.
That feels right with me. Yeah.
All right, we both agree on it then. Yeah. All right, let's move on. All right, we're gonna do a cut here, or just a break, because we're gonna do one of these segments. I just gotta find it.
Works for me.
All right.
You gotta listen to Jensen Ackles' Batman voice. Promise that will.
The big dude. He's like.
I know who you're talking about. He was from what's his name?
He's huge.
Oh, is it the dude that was in the movie with Henry Cavill recently?
Maybe. He's massive. Like
he plays Jack Reacher, right?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. People are talking about him too. Okay, everybody, it is time for On the Spot. This is going to be a segment where me and Warren put each other on the spot with statements, and we have to agree or disagree. I'm going to start. We have not seen what each other wrote down. So, Warren.
I'm curious if we have the same ones, some of the same ones.
I don't know. We may.
Yeah.
The Acolyte was actually good.
No.
Just definitive.
No.
Okay.
And I said before, it's not hard. I'm sorry. I don't I'm not gonna play into all the different aspects to it. Like, it's not a hard decision. It's
not that deep.
Good. Yeah, it's not that deep. It's really not. It's just not a good story. I'll just say that the story sucks.
All right, you're up.
Yeah. Okay. Robert Downey Jr. will make a better Dr. Doom than he did Iron Man.
Disagree. It's too legendary. I'm too ingrained. I was there from the beginning. I've been there all the way through.
Yeah.
I think he's going to kill it as Dr. Doom, but I disagree that it'll be better than Iron Man.
I would have to agree with your disagree. I just wanted to see what you would say to that statement.
It took me a second. I had to think about it.
Well, because you think about his personality, his quick wit, and, genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. It's like, man, he's going to make a killer villain.
If he proves us both wrong, then we're all winners.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Right.
Boom.
It's funny you asked a Tony Stark question.
Oh.
Tony Stark was actually the villain of the entire Infinity Saga. Think about it for a second.
I mean, he did create Ultron.
Go back even further than that. Anytime we had any issues with anything, it was Stark weaponry, Stark tech.
I'm just trying to think of how he would have brought in Thanos. I mean, yeah, he did, because in Avengers, he kind of defeated Thanos because Loki was under Thanos. I mean,
he never stopped. He always wanted to fix.
Right.
That's
a hell of a statement. Oh, man.
Agree or disagree?
No, I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
I'm going to disagree with that one. Because he did save it all. Whether it was his fault or not, he did save it all. Right. So where's your heart? I would say in this. I think he always had a good heart. And this is where evil comes into play. Sometimes people believe they're doing the right thing.
Thanos had a good heart.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes this is where evil comes into play, is when you truly do believe that you are the smartest person who has the only solution. And just because everyone disagrees doesn't mean you're wrong. I'm still going to disagree, though.
That's a good one, though, wasn't it?
That was a really good one.
All right, you're up.
Having Kang as the main villain was better than having Doom as the main villain in the Multiverse saga.
Can I add stipulations and asterisks? Or does it just have to be?
I'll add all of the Kangs, not just one particular Kang.
I agree with asterisks. Those asterisks are if they didn't fumble the ball in Ant-Man Quantumania.
Okay.
Which I know may have led to other things. What actually was going to happen, which I know is out there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have been a very, very wild ride with all the different Kang variants in the Council of Kang and how that would have went. I feel like Doctor Doom is going to be its own ride. And if you're correct, and it's what I like to call a budget-friendly ride, and then we actually get what everybody wants, that's true Doctor Doom fans down the road.
Right. Yeah.
That's perfect. I feel like the Kang Dynasty arc would have been wild.
I think I actually made that statement. Kang is better than Doom as my own opinion. Yeah. So
I mean, when we're getting into Ant-Man and we start getting like just doses of him during the middle of it,
right?
I was like, yeah.
Well, and just think of the post-credit. Think of the post-credit.
I know.
And think of He Who Remains. Everything he did, But
anyway, all right. Agree or disagree? The Eternals was misunderstood.
Agree.
Elaborate really quickly.
I actually think that movie gets way too much crap than it should.
I liked it.
I liked it, and I've made that known throughout.
And we're not getting Eternals 2 now.
No, I don't think we will. And if we do pick that story up, it'll be after Secret Wars. But it was what's really funny on this subject really quick is like Eternals came out right before Dune came out, and I thought they gave me the exact same vibes, right? Like they kind of were slower, kind of jumped around. They had their action parts, but like I thought they were pretty similar.
You're trying to tell the backstory of like 7
characters.
It's hard.
It's hard. And they changed kind of the origins of how they are and everything like that, right? So it's a tough one, and it was very different than anything Marvel has really done.
It doesn't necessarily make it bad.
No, it doesn't, but I think a lot of people perceive it that way, and we're maybe expecting something else, which is why it kind of was bad. But no, I like it.
All right.
All right, here's something that I think a lot of people are wondering right now. The new DC Universe Phase 1 will be better than the Phase 4 and Phase 5 of the MCU that we've gotten so far.
Strong agree.
Interesting.
And it goes back to our conversation of who's in charge, who's making creative decisions.
Yep, James Gunn. It's all him.
I trust him.
Peter Safran. Yep.
Yeah, I trust him.
And I would say,
I hope it is, man.
Peacemaker, Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean,
yeah, and we've already had the L's from what you just talked about with Marvel. They're in the past, so I'm really rooting for this to just be something awesome. Now, I have opinions on Snyder, and they're not like everybody else's opinions, but we'll talk about that on
another one. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Agree or disagree? Blade, the movie, will come out before Secret Wars.
There's only been one blade. There's only ever going to be one blade.
Yeah, he threw that in there, didn't
And Deadpool looks right at the camera.
Yeah.
It'll come out before.
Yeah.
Maybe wishful thinking, but I really want them to start Blade and the Midnight Suns and that supernatural side of the MCU. I'd like to see that sooner.
I'd like to see it too, but I think we're going to talk about it here in a little while with the slots that are left. You're going to be shoehorning stuff in. And then we're going to go right back into the problem they were in, where they were literally just throwing all kinds of new stuff that, I mean,
possibly.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I personally don't think we're getting it. I don't think it's coming.
I think it's a crapshoot, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I think it's up in the air. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I've got one more. You got one more?
I've got two more.
Okay. Go for it.
This one's funny because I noticed your hat in the beginning. It's Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. It's my son's favorite guy right now.
Maybe I don't ask this question.
No, do it. Do it. Do it.
The Monsterverse is overrated.
I agree. I look at it as it's just a fun time, fun watch. I have a son that's connected to it, loves Kong, loves Godzilla, loves Monarch, the whole storyline, everything that goes. Yeah. So it's more of a just, we're going to go and have a good time together. Am I invested in it? No.
See, that's the thing with me is like, I think it's really cool. I think it's really entertaining, but, and you could easily, I know there are people out there like, dude, that's Marvel. Like, it's the same thing, right?
No, it's not. Marvel is way deeper, way more intricate. There are way more fibers woven into it. I mean, you get Kong and Godzilla, cities are going to be decimated.
Right.
There's going to be a fight or two.
Right? It's the
There's
giant
going to be another
creature,
giant. Yeah.
Sorry for I know it's
up.
I know it's got a huge fandom too, and like
I know.
So I never discourage anybody from liking anything. Oh no, and I don't want to make anyone mad.
There's a difference in liking something and being invested in something.
Right, exactly.
I'm not invested in the monster universe at all.
I like it.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't have one. I have one more. Then
I have one more.
Okay, go.
And I don't even know if you follow this.
Then we'll end it on mine.
At all. Spoiler alert. Well, actually, not really. All right. House of the Dragon's final episode of season 2 was exactly what the fans needed.
I've never watched a single episode. I haven't finished the original Game of Thrones.
All right, let me help you out here. I'm gonna hold your hand. This story is literally built for I got you. This story is literally built for these two factions to come together and fight with dragons. Okay? That's what it's all about. Everybody knows, everybody's read the books. They know how it ends. It's a prequel to Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
We went through the first season. We set up all the backstories, got everything going. We went through the entire second season, and they literally, spoiler alert, 1, 2, 3, left it on a cliffhanger, no battle, no nothing. So fans are 2 years away from actually getting the culmination of what they've been waiting for what, 5 years now?
What was the original question?
What is he? House of the Dragon season 2 equals garbage.
Trash can. Yeah. What was the original question?
The final season 2 was exactly what fans needed because they are completely divided on it. And the actors say we want to build up that just for you to be ready. Once again, that's not operating in reality of fans. Because now we have to wait 2 years.
I was going to say, making people wait 2 years is kind of a douche move.
Yeah. All right. Your final one. Wow me.
I don't know if you follow this stuff.
Oh.
The Witcher.
Anime, I don't.
The Witcher.
A little bit.
Season 4 is going to be garbage without Henry Cavill.
Disagree.
Really?
Yep. I think Hemsworth's going to be fine. I like him. I like his chops. I think he's going to be all right.
This is kind of a part 2. I'm worried about the story because season 3 wasn't exactly that good either, and Henry Cavill was in it. Well, for the most part, he was. But I'm really worried about the story. I am worried about the Switch, but I'm going to give it a chance. Hey, I give things like the Star Wars. Like I don't write off Star Wars every time I see something I don't like. The Acolyte. I don't write it off. I just hope the next is better. You know,
I know Wes has an opinion on this because Wes is like the biggest Witcher fan ever. So we'll probably see something pop up.
We'll come in.
Okay. Oh my God, Lauren Hisrich ruined it.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
I liked season 1, but season 2, once they start just ruining things, it's over. Like you guys were saying earlier, stick to the source material and the show will be good. And they didn't stick to the source material, and that's why Henry Cavill
And that's
dipped.
why Henry left. Yep.
Easy as that.
Yep.
Ruined it.
Oh, so I gave the wrong answer.
I think you
You
did,
very
but
much
I hope you
Oh.
prove us. I hope you end up giving the right answer. I hope it was
I
right,
mean,
but
I
think
hope for Wes's sake that it's good. I really, really
yeah,
do.
no, I think that Netflix should be bought and just completely just just cancel every Witcher plant. Okay, there is one Witcher I'm excited
Wow.
for. The one
So
Witcher I'm
you're-
excited for is the Sirens of the Deep, and it's got Doug Cockle, the original voice actor for the games. He's voicing the animated show or the movie.
Huh.
So,
You want him to cancel all Witcher live action?
live action canceled, not under Lauren. If Lauren Hisrich is the head, just cancel it all. It's over.
Wow. Strong
Over.
opinions coming from the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Strong opinions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that ends our first on the spot segment. That was fun. I like that. I'm just going to let you know that as we go and grow together, Warren, my questions are going to get harder.
Oh,
just
I
want
wouldn't
you-
expect anything less.
I just
All right, so this next segment, Wes, the man behind the curtain's coming back, and he's going to ask us, he's going to give us a topic. We don't know what it is, and we're going to have to say if we think it's overrated, underrated, or properly rated. And we have no idea what he's prepared for us. He might be just trying to get us canceled in the first episode. Who knows? But let's go, Wes. Just bring
if he
it on.
does, it was I had fun, man.
It was a
good one.
fun time.
Yeah, it was a good
and he's gonna count down 3, 2, 1, and we just have to answer.
Okay, you guys ready?
ready.
We're gonna start off with 3, 2, 1, Godzilla.
Properly rated. You're supposed to say something, Warren.
But he's said 3, 2, 1. But you're supposed to say Godzilla.
Oh yeah,
then
no,
3,
you say the topic and then you say 3, 2, 1.
You gotta say the topic and then 3, 2, 1 answer.
Bloopers,
I'm like,
outtakes.
Okay, outtakes.
just keep going.
Yes,
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah,
Also,
going.
you have to come up with some branding that says "man behind the curtain." No, voice.
Voice
Voice
behind
behind the curtain. That's your
okay.
moniker. All right,
Keep
we
it,
got
just,
this.
Just keep going. No, I'll go.
Okay.
I'll say properly rated, I guess.
okay.
Okay,
But
next
from here
one.
on out, topic 3, 2.
Topic
3,
3, 2,
2,
1. Bam.
Okay, here we go. The Lord of the Rings. 3, 2, 1.
Properly rated.
Underrated.
Okay.
What?
I have friends that haven't seen it.
That's
And I'm like, it's crazy.
okay. Yeah, but that's
So
you're
properly rated for the people who do truly appreciate that. I know it's supposed to be just like a solid answer, but I know people haven't seen it and they're just like, well, I only watched my wife wanted to watch the extended version, so I couldn't get through it. I'm like, ugh.
No, underrated would be people watched it and said it wasn't any good and they were wrong. Everybody
properly
besides
rated.
your 3 friends that have not seen it have seen Lord of the Rings.
You would, yeah, and I think it's very properly rated. In no way
Properly
could it
rated.
be overly rated. I would
Absolutely.
say
If we
Yeah.
ever,
properly rated. Easy.
Properly
Okay,
rated.
There you go. I was just thinking of that guy. I was like, how have you not?
you got one guy that hasn't seen it. You need to go talk to him after this show.
I do all the time. All the time. One of my best friends.
We need to
You
bring him on the show.
Stupid.
We need to
Oh, he's
bring
a
him on the
hoot.
show.
He's a hoot. We'd get a good time with him on the show.
All right.
But all right, next
Hey,
one. Wes.
yes, we'll be
next
coming.
one. Fast and the Furious franchise. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Overrated. Look,
I can't.
it goes right in the bucket of there are things you watch that are fun and there's things you watch that you're invested in. Actually, I take that back because I was really invested when Paul Walker passed away. I know I just took it on a serious side of what we were. Yeah, I know. I literally sucked all the air out of the room. I may have to take that back. I guess in the general sense of the franchise, you can't take it seriously. It's
impossible for me to take seriously.
I'm taking back
They
my
don't
answer.
want you to take it seriously.
I'm taking back. I'm going perfectly rated. It is what it is. It owns what it is. They took a car to space.
I would rather watch the Monsterverse.
Properly rated.
Okay. Next
Overrated.
one. Bat Flick. 3.
I didn't hear it.
2,
Sorry. No, I didn't hear it.
Batflick.
Like Ben Affleck's Batman?
Yes, Batflick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Underrated.
Underrated. He is my favorite live action Batman.
Yes.
All day. I've said
five.
it so many
High
times.
five.
I've said it so many times. He is
I
my
get so
favorite
pissed off when
live action
people
Batman.
crap on him.
No, he is the best. I'm sorry for all the Christian Bale fans out there. I'm not saying that the others aren't
No, he's
good.
great.
Christian Bale is fantastic. He's iconic. Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman.
Batfleck is the brawler version of Batman, which I
Mm.
absolutely love.
I love it.
We just
Love it.
became best friends.
we
just became best friends.
Did we just become best bubs?
We did. We did. We're going to
Yeah,
do karate in the
totally.
garage after this take.
In the
That-
basement. Yeah.
Yes. We could keep going. I'm ready
All right,
now.
okay, let's get it. The Obi-Wan Anakin battle. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Underrated.
Properly rated.
Okay.
Why do you
Fair.
say underrated?
Because people hate that show for some reason. I didn't know people hated it until like
Who are these people, Warren?
critics that I know, friends that are critics, and I've talked to them and they're like, oh yeah, like I didn't really like it. And then I found out that a lot of people didn't like it. I was like, why?
Okay, I will say that the view has changed. So after it came out in the years following, it was frowned upon. But I think when we got into West, back me up here, maybe 2015-ish or whatever, whenever the tide turned and people actually started appreciating Hayden Christensen and those prequels, I know it happened. The
Mhm.
tide turned.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, that's how it always is with Star Wars. Like everyone hates the prequels, and
No.
now everyone's hating the-
Nobody's going to turn the tide on Acolyte, bro.
No, okay.
No.
Now,
I won't.
No.
And
okay,
this is
that's
I'm a prequels fan, and I've said that publicly before. Come at me. I like the prequels.
I think it's properly rated because everybody I talk to, which are true Star Wars fans, say that it's top 3, top 2 lightsaber duel ever.
Well,
Now-
if I heard that from everybody, I'd say properly rated, but I didn't hear that from everybody, so I say underrated.
All right.
okay. Next one, Ryan Reynolds. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
He's perfect.
Properly rated.
Okay.
Perfectly rated.
Perfectly rated.
The proposal. No, I think I love Ryan Reynolds. I actually thought this the other day. I was like, he's not too much, and I could see how if he's a little bit more, it could be too much. But I think he's just right there in that sweet spot. Properly rated.
I think
Fair.
he understands what fans want.
Me too.
Fair. Okay. The original X-Men movie. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Properly
Overrated.
rated. Oh, really?
Overrated.
Oh, wow.
Go back and watch it.
We just unbecame best friends.
Go back and watch it. Watch
I
it
did
tonight, Warren.
before Deadpool and Wolverine. I watched them all.
It's not as good as I remember.
Fair.
Okay. This next one is going to throw you guys for a little bit of a loop. And
I
it's
like
going to
loops.
be Fruit Loops. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Overrated.
Oh, Fruit Loops.
Yeah,
Overrated.
3 for a
I
loop,
I
yeah.
thought you were describing what you were about to say. I thought you were saying this subject is Fruit Loops. Oh, yeah, overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah.
So overrated. I would rather eat unsugared Cheerios than Fruit Loops.
Okay. Next one.
Maybe not that far, but they're still overrated.
I would rather eat lightly sugared cornflakes.
I'd rather eat Raisin Bran than.
Wait, no, don't
hey,
hit a Raisin Bran. But,
No, I love Raisin Bran. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
really?
I'd rather eat Raisin Bran than.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
Raisin Bran haters out there.
so many.
Which is
You
fine.
realize it's just cornflakes with raisins, right?
And I like it.
Yeah, it works for me.
You realize, and the raisins
I
get
like
stuck
it.
in your teeth no matter what you do.
I'm willing to. I'm willing to.
Yeah,
take
that's
that
like
home.
easily.
Before you go on, really quick, you two, I want your opinion. You meet somebody for the first time, they have you come over, and they're going to make you breakfast, and they're making you a bowl of cereal. Okay, they get out the bowl, they have the cereal, they pour the milk in the bowl first,
No, no,
Oh my God.
Mm.
Sins.
and then they pour the
No.
cereal.
They're
No.
sinners.
no.
Can they be your friend?
I throw it in their face.
All right.
Fair. Okay, next one. Here we go. This is gonna be a hot take, I'm sure. I don't know if each of you are gonna agree. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. 3, 2, 1, send it.
Underrated.
Underrated. Yeah.
Okay, you guys
Gets
are
way
entitled to
too
your
much
wrong
hate.
opinions.
Absolutely. It's such a fun ride. And the way that he did it with like the horror movie tones to it and the
Yeah,
close face
was cool.
ups and
Yeah.
yeah,
The
underrated.
what are they called? The shock scares, like
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Jump scares. Yeah.
completely underrated.
You know, it won like a People's Choice Award, right? Like,
No, I didn't know that.
yeah, like it won some like audience award. I think it was might have been at that. So I'm like, oh, yeah, it might get hate online, but I think people overall actually did really like it.
Yeah. I think if you've watched it once, go watch it again.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay, here we go. Next one. This is a recent one. Deadpool and Wolverine. 3, 2, 1, send it.
Properly rated.
Properly rated.
Any
Past
comments?
that billion threshold. I mean, if
No.
you've seen the movie, you know. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. This is gonna be another one. This is gonna pop. Okay, a little bit of pop. It's gonna be Funko Pops. 3, 2, 1, send it.
Overrated.
Properly rated.
Overrated. They're bobbleheads in cardboard.
Sometimes they look so cool. Look at
Look.
this giant one that I have. It's as
This
big as
is
my
coming.
head.
This is coming from a man that could step away from this mic and go into the next room and be staring at about 800 Funko Pops.
Sure.
Overrated.
Okay.
Here's why. Because they saturated them. They saturated the market.
Sure.
There's literally a Funko Pop for everything.
You can get your own too.
You could get your own Funko Pops. There. Do you remember the game? You're not going to remember this because you guys are too young. There was a game, Simon Says.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little circle game, and you hit the buttons,
Yeah, and there's
and the lights come up, and you would try to follow the sequence.
Yeah.
There's a Funko Pop.
Really? Of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Is there a Bop It Funko Pop? Remember that game?
Twist.
I was
I
like
do.
pull it, twist
I
it.
do.
But...
I feel like in the beginning they had it, and then I feel like it just went, let's just make a Funko for everything. It's not special.
I also think off topic, people think I'm younger than I am. Everybody thinks I'm really young.
Yeah, you got a baby face. If you shave that face,
I have a baby face. That's why I have a beard most of the time. I'm 35.
Hey, I get that too, and I'm way older than you. But if I shave this down to nubs, people say I have a baby face too.
There you go.
Mhm.
I'm 35. I don't know if
I'm
I was
old.
as young as you thought I was.
I'm older.
Well, I know you're older than I am.
Wes, how old are you now?
I am 30.
Holy cow!
Yep.
It's just a baby.
Yep.
You
sure
are the
am.
baby of the group.
Okay,
All
next
right.
one. Jason Voorhees. 3, 2, 1, send it.
I don't know who that is.
Overrated.
Jason Voorhees. You don't know Jason?
Warren, you
Did
just
you
got
get the
canceled.
mask?
Who is Jason Voorhees?
You
The
just
dude
got
with the
canceled.
mask?
Oh, Jason? Like the killer?
Friday the
Jason?
13th.
His last name is Voorhees?
He just said the killer. The killer.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I don't like horror or slash films and stuff like that. I don't watch them. I don't know. That's public. Everybody knows that about me. I can't do it.
Oh, they're
So
about to know.
overrated. I don't like those stuff, man. I can't tell you the last time I saw any of that. I don't watch that stuff. It's not my cup of tea, y'all. I don't like scary horror or anything like that. Slash films. I don't watch this.
He goes the killer.
I don't know who Jason Voorhees is. If you would have said Jason, I might have gotten it. I might have realized right away.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's why I have a Marvel channel.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Okay. it's
Well, I have a
definitely an
superhero
interesting
channel.
situation. Okay. Next one. The Eternals. 3, 2, 1, send it.
Underrated.
Okay.
People should rewatch it knowing what it is and try to appreciate it.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's all we really had.
That's fun.
That's all I got on here.
That's
Should
cool.
have made Wes answer too.
We should have. We definitely should have made him
Oh, see,
get
I've
his
got
opinion
some
in.
hot takes. Okay, well, here's another one.
Okay.
Daredevil Netflix. 3,
Properly
2,
rated.
1,
Oh,
send
sorry.
it.
Properly rated.
Properly rated.
Okay.
Wes doesn't like
What
it.
What else you got off the cuff? On the
What else
cuff?
I got off the
Is it
cuff?
off the
Okay.
cuff or on the cuff?
It's off the cuff.
Off the cuff.
The superhero Batman. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
What?
Just Batman.
Batman.
Properly rated.
Properly rated.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
properly rated. Yeah.
Those are easy.
The
Throw
boys.
something
The
hard.
boys. You guys see the boys? 3, 2,
No,
1.
I
Send
don't.
it.
I don't watch the boys.
Damn.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Warren.
I don't like gore stuff.
Okay, it's definitely gory.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's-
and the first
that's
episode I
fair.
watched, I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see some of the stuff in what is it, season 4?
I've seen like
Oh
the
my
orgy
gosh.
stuff. I've seen a lot of violent stuff, and like I actually do think the premise is really cool, and I follow it. As weird as that sounds, but yeah.
Okay.
So
here's
we
another one.
can't. Okay, go ahead.
Henry Cavill, Superman. 3, 2, 1. Send it.
Under freaking rated.
Yeah, actually, I would say underrated. I was gonna say perfect, but yeah, no, people need, underrated. Yeah. I have a story, and I'm so sad. I was at the Avatar Way of the Water world premiere, and they had like The Rock with Black Adam and everything had just announced Henry Cavill's coming back. We got that post-credit scene. I saw Henry Cavill. I went up to him. He was sitting and he stood up. Very, very kind person. And he shook my hand and I said, "I'm so glad you're back as Superman." And he said, "Oh, thank you very much." And then the next day it was announced that he's not back as Superman. I was like, "He probably knew that night." And I said, "I'm glad you're back." He probably was like, ugh. Oh,
That's
I'm
all
like,
right. We've got him as Calverine.
Calverine. I hope he's the main Wolverine moving forward. There's theories out there that he might be. I'd love that. I think
too
he's
old.
awesome.
I think he's too old.
I think he's great.
No, I agree. As he looks off into the distance. I think he's great.
I like Henry.
No, I like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I think he knocked it out of the park.
He-
Henry Cavill is my Superman.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And maybe that's why Marvel won't ever actually make him Wolverine, because he's Superman.
This is true.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a theory. And let's expand upon it. See what we think. On the Reddit Marvel Theories, it's a short one, but there's a lot to it.
Okay.
The final battle of Secret Wars.
Oh,
Everybody's going to be guessing, theorizing how it's going to go down.
as I have many times already.
Who's going to kill Dr. Doom? Is it going to be Peter Parker? Is it, hey, here's one for you. Rune King Thor. Woo! That'd be wild.
Rune King Thor is a story I sadly don't think they'll ever do. But yeah, that would be really wild.
It would be cool.
It's a
Okay.
very dark story.
The final battle that will end Secret Wars and reset the MCU will be Dr. Doom, RDJ, versus Loki from the show. Roles reversed from the hero and villain in the first Avengers to villain and hero in the last. Green versus green. Magic versus magic.
Green
Intellect versus intellect. Throne versus throne. I feel like this is the obvious theory, but is it too on the nose?
No, I actually don't think it is that obvious.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't think,
He's literally,
because you don't associate Loki with the Avengers in a good way, right? You
Not yet.
associate- Not yet, right? But on his, but I think people haven't made that jump yet. As far as association is concerned, I think people obviously understand that he's a good guy now, right? But I don't know if people think, oh, hey, the guy holding the multiverse together is the guy that defeats Doom at the end yet. I don't know. I think people.
what about the payoffs? The first bad, first good.
Oh no, I love it.
flip?
No, don't get me wrong. I love it. I hope it happens. I just don't know how obvious that is. I think a lot of people think the Avengers as a group defeat Kang, right? Thor, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man.
Well, if
they're
we
all
go
fighting.
off of comics, I mean,
Right,
Reed
exactly.
Richards.
Right, exactly. No, everybody like X-Men will be there too.
Yeah.
Deadpool, Wolverine, Reed Richards, who's still like I think people think it happens as a group effort, and that's how they defeat him. I would love for the group effort to fail, and then it's just Loki 1v1, and Loki is the savior of the universe from villain to, your savior is here, as he said. I'd love it. I would love it.
Who's not going to get the final blow? Captain Marvel's not getting the final blow. Doctor Strange isn't getting the final blow. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think there's a good chance that Strange and Wanda are on the wrong side for a decent portion of it.
Maybe.
Personally.
If it is a Tony Stark variant, it'd be crazy to have Peter kill him.
Yeah.
It'd be emotional to have Peter kill him.
Who else? Who are we not thinking about?
I mean, Miss Marvel, right? Kamala Khan. I don't think she'd get the final blow. I love her, and I met her. And
Shang-Chi? No, I'm not about her.
no,
as a-
if she,
that,
she's not
that
getting the final
character's not
kill.
built up to
get the final
do
kill.
that.
Yeah, no, neither Shang-Chi. Neither
No.
Shang-Chi. Like Daredevil's not going to do it, you know. I don't think Sam Wilson's Captain America does it, even though he's supposed to be the leader of the new Avengers team.
What about Thor?
No, I was thinking about that too. It would be
What about
epic
a
if
variant
Thor,
of Captain Rogers?
maybe, but I don't think so. I think because it's not a main character still, right? That's more of like a cameo.
Yeah.
It'd be epic if Thor couldn't do it and he watched his brother do it.
Ooh.
Right? It'd be
like
because he doesn't know all the stuff Loki's did. It's a different
No,
Loki.
he thinks he's dead.
Well, I mean, technically, his Loki is dead.
His Loki is dead.
Yeah, so that's what
Now,
I'm saying. Like,
so are you of the thought process 100% we will get a payoff and see Thor and Loki reunite? I feel
why
like we
was
have
Thor
to.
crying? No.
Yeah, I feel like we have to, right?
Uh,
It's one of the longest. I mean, that they're two of the longest tenured characters left.
it would be such a huge miss.
It would, because Thor
An
needs to see
unforgivable miss.
how far he came.
Exactly. It would just be unforgivable, in my opinion. Like, that's something we have to get.
I agree.
Yeah.
Will we see God Emperor Doom?
I want to believe that's what we are getting.
Well, he can't be God Emperor Doom out of the beginning. That's not how it works.
No, take the power of the Beyonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's still some talk that, Kang could still come around somehow, like this Kang Beyonder variant. That was supposed to be originally the plan. That one of the Kangs gets the power of the Beyonder, and, that's how he becomes essentially God Emperor Kang.
I've heard talk that to show his threat level,
Mhm.
like Dr. Doom, that they may have him wipe out like the Council of Kangs. Or
Right. That would be cool. That would be
early
cool.
on.
That would
Early on.
definitely show it, right? That would show how powerful he is. And they should do that, in all honesty, because they should give Kang some type of closure.
Yeah.
They
Do
should
we
give
see
the
Thanos again?
audience some type of closure. Yeah, we see Thanos again.
Young Thanos, regular Thanos, or King Thanos?
No, regular Thanos.
Regular Thanos, not young?
I mean, define young. He's like an immortal being almost, like.
I think we're going to see him, but it's going to be short-lived, because I think they're going to pay off the comic panel of, once again, showing the existential threat that Doom is, and they're going to just ripping his skeleton
right out. Yeah, I hope so.
Could you imagine Robert Downey Jr.
Right, exactly.
as Doom and Brolin, and just
I wonder if he'd be like Stark, and then be like, Gah!
He would.
Doom.
He'd be like, Tony.
Doom.
I know. No, what did he say? I know you. Or
No, he says Stark. That's
And then
literally what he says. He goes, Stark. He goes, you know me?
Yeah.
And he says, you're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
Yeah. That'd be good.
So imagine if he's just like Stark, and then he just rips a skeleton out, and he's like, no, Doom. Like, oh snap. That'd be a good way to start it off.
Oh, God. Yeah, you need to do that early.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he just goes on a rampage. Like, he knocks out all the Kangs, Thanos.
And it's just like, how do you defeat this guy? How?
Yeah.
And then he succeeds, and then you get Battle World.
All right.
That's where Secret Wars comes into play.
We're going to close it out. I want you to give me your 5-person hit list that does not make it to the reset.
Oh. Ooh. Hulk?
This is actually pretty easy in my
really?
mind.
You think
It is, because I feel like there's a lot of cannon fodder built up that they need to expunge.
Well, I'm also thinking of how long people have been doing things, right? Like, I don't think Chris Hemsworth does another Thor after Secret Wars. I don't think Mark Ruffalo does another one. I don't think Sam Wilson's Captain America makes it out. I think they start over with a new Captain America, Steve Rogers Captain America.
I think Captain Marvel's done.
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, that's a tough one. Probably. And honestly, basing this off of her attitude when the Marvels and everything came out, she's probably done herself.
Yeah.
There's so many characters, which is the problem, that are coming now. Like, I think we keep most of the new characters, but maybe they get rid of some, like She-Hulk. I can see
She-Hulk
her
is
not making it.
definitely expendable.
Like, yeah, exactly.
You want to know the big one that they're going to do just to have that big jaw drop? In my opinion,
Who?
Doctor Strange isn't making it.
I can see that.
That's going to suck.
Yeah.
I know it's not a RDJ Iron Man moment, but it's up there for me, man.
I don't know.
I like Doctor Strange a lot.
Yeah, no, me too. That's a tough one. The Scarlet Witch might not make it either.
She's already died once. I
Right,
mean, we've got that's not going to hit as much. I really don't feel Doctor Strange. I feel like that's the biggest.
Yeah.
I feel like him and Thor are the two biggest.
Thor's going to be a hard one. Yeah. And
what about Paul Rudd? What about Paul Rudd?
I would love to see him continue. I think he's great. I think he's great.
Anything left for it?
I don't think he makes it though. No, I don't think he makes it. I don't think a lot make it. I think Spider-Man makes it. A lot of the young Avengers will probably make it.
Do you think Spider-Man makes it, or they get us to the story point where Miles is in the universe and Peter doesn't make it?
No, they do that, but Peter makes it, and then after Spider-Man 6, it's Miles from there on out.
Jesus,
Tom Holland's
Spider-Man
done.
6.
That was apparently the contract he signed, was for 3 more solos and 3 more team ups.
Who are we missing? I feel like Daredevil could make it. All those,
Kingpin,
like that,
all of them.
Yeah, those lower levels,
yeah,
could make it.
Probably a new Guardians team, huh?
Has to be a new Guardians team.
Yeah, because they already.
But then again, Chris said
Star-Lord could do the Annihilators.
Star-Lord said he's not done.
Well, and it did say Star-Lord would return, but I'm thinking that's Secret Wars,
Just
Avengers
Secret
stuff.
Wars.
Yeah. It's really gonna be sad, I think, and I do really think they're gonna try to mostly start over though.
Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to think of anybody else that would just those are the big hitters. Like that's the big ones that are left. I think the Hulk dies.
Me too.
Because it's easy to get another Hulk.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, you can have a story with another Hulk. Do you think Red Hulk makes it to Secret Wars? I love putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I just don't see, like, once Doomsday happens, I just don't see a story for Red Hulk. I don't see a story for a lot of people. Like, once Doomsday happens, like, I'm pretty sure the multiverse gets destroyed there, right? So it's
they just have Battle World left.
Yeah. So you might.
So you think we're past the point of any return on getting our World War Hulk arc? I don't.
I think it'll be in a I think it'll be in a movie that has to do with the multiverse, not necessarily a solo Hulk movie.
I think that Dr. Doom, I think he's primed to weaponize him. And
that would be really cool too. That would be really cool, especially if he is going to have sorcery. Like, then totally. Yeah. Or technology, because he's smart as hell.
I think that's it, man. I think we have made it. Did we miss anything, Wes?
He fell asleep.
He's gone. He's like,
no, I don't believe so. I think we got everything.
All right. That is episode 1. That's awesome. We did it. What were we at, like an hour and 30 minutes? That's cool.
Almost hour 40. Yeah.
Yeah. Look for the Multiverse podcast on your favorite podcast streaming platform, whether that be Spotify, Amazon, Apple, YouTube, wherever you want to watch it. There will be content put up all the time on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
All of our socials will be in there. We'll get a link tree put together. Watch on your favorite podcasting apps. I love these little pop-ups. I hope he owns this and just crams them down our throat every episode we do. One big thing I wanted to stress, and I'll let Warren take us out, get interactive with us. Please. Whatever platform has a way for you to comment, we want to build this out with you guys. And I promise you, your comments, your thoughts, your opinions, have a good chance to make it in future episodes or future content, or if it's something we're putting together as standalone content. We're going to be driven off of all of your opinions, comments, thoughts, because it's not just me, Warren, and Wes. We want it to be all of us talking about the things that we love and everything pop culture.
Especially now, while we're rebooting. Well, we just rebooted.
We did reboot.
Yeah, while we just rebooted. So especially now, it's a great time to be very interactive because there's really good chance we'll see your stuff and talk about it.
Absolutely,
so please,
because we don't really have a following yet.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you're ground level.
remix.
This is
yeah.
This is
so
ground level.
Wherever you come from Jimmy, from my Cosmic Wonder, wherever, or if you just stumbled upon us on YouTube or Apple or whatever it is. Thanks for being here. But yes, please, we're glad you're here and we want to hear from you. So interact with us as much as you can and we'll try to interact back with you as well.
I forgot to ask you at the beginning if we should use our superhero names, but we never did. We just went with Jimmy and Warren.
Well, like Chaos and Cosmic, CC.
Yeah.
I mean, people come up to me like who the rare chances people recognize me, they're like, "Are you Cosmic?" I'm like, I think so.
I was at the Dallas airport trying to catch a connection, and I was running through, and there's a Dickie's barbecue. We're Dallas, DFW, man, massive.
Dallas Fort Worth, yeah.
And somebody screams from Dickie's barbecue. They're in the back, like on the line, making the sandwiches, and they scream chaos. I was
hilarious.
Like, what? And I had to stop. I went over there and talked to. I was like, this is the best moment of my life.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was wild. How they spotted me, I have no idea. Most of the time for me, I've been recognized a lot, but a lot of it starts with my voice. I guess people, if they hear my voice, they automatically connect it.
They can just figure it out. They're like, oh my gosh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I show my face like sometimes, right? So
you're recognizable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially when you're in your element of like anything.
Well, if I go to the movie theater,
red carpet, premieres, things like that, for sure.
Yeah, if I go to a movie theater, there's usually like one person over it. Like actually, I went for Deadpool Wolverine. I went to get popcorn, and they were like, "Are you the Cosmic Wonder?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dude,
I was famous, Warren."
Well, right. I'm literally going to see Deadpool and Wolverine at a movie theater, right? So it's like, maybe someone there is listening to my videos or something. So
I don't think you give yourself enough credit. I really, really don't. And people are going to be watching this podcast, and if they made it all the way to the end, you truly are the champions. They're going to be like, first of all, who are you? Why would you say you have superhero names? Why call yourself Chaos and Cosmic? We will tell those stories down the road.
Yeah.
Because there's stories to tell.
So stay tuned.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you for joining us all. I appreciate it. Hope you come back for the many more we're going to do.